already. Which I'll have ready.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Caleb, Naruba, Ashley, and helper, Tushi, Ruma. Hour goes on, you'll definitely warm up. Hopefully everyone had a good Easter weekend.
There's still some coming on.
Passover weekend. A couple more minutes here. Damon's just letting a couple more folks on. Welcome, Chris. Hello. We got Nicole entering in a second.
Alita, what's up?
Hello.
Welcome back.
And Nicole. All right.
Cool.
Good to go. So today, we're going to spend a lot of time not moving. What? We're going to start each movement today with a stationary hold. Now, obviously, as time goes on, you might find that that stationary hold is harder and harder to execute. That's okay. I'll give strategies to get through it. In preparation for later, we're going to warm up a little bit with a dynamic warm-up. Some of the movements that we're doing are off that normal beaten path of forward and side to side things. So we definitely want to get the hips and the shoulders ready for what we're about to give it. We're actually going to start warming up on the floor with a gentle hip opener sequence to start. So heels wide, hands behind the chest, behind the back, and then chest upright. They're popping your chest to the sky. You're going to rotate from the hip, moving side to side. And if you feel a little bit of crunching in the upper back or the shoulder blades, don't be alarmed. So we're going to use this to warm up not just the hips, but also the movement in the thoracic spine or that upper back area. And we can do that by keeping the shoulders locked in one place on the ground, and that's why you feel a little bit of that discomfort in the shoulders as well. To get to your next rep, you're going to keep your legs on the ground, and now we can walk our hands to the front of our front leg, and we are going to do what I like to call the black swans. So we're going to hinge over that front leg, hold and come up. Spine stays straight, hinge, 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 and come back up. Two more. Spine stays straight, hinge, 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 come back up. Last one. Stay nice and low, and then now we're going to circulate down on this bottom position, moving side to side, trying to get as much range through that hip as we can. Now, I'm going to get you to go a little bit far over to the side, to the corner, so you're on the outside of your knee, and I want you just to spend a little bit of time in that particular spot there, just on the outside of the knee area. 3 more, 2 more, and then let us switch to the other side. So we're going to start up and down, keeping the chest nice and tall, hinging over, and coming back up. Hinging over, hinging over, hinging over, and coming back up. Trying to keep the hip and the body in motion for the entire duration of this drill. And back up. Down, 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 and up. And last one. Hinge, hinge, hinge. Stay nice and low. And we're going to move side to side. Again, being cautious that we are moving from the actual hip joint and not just tricking ourselves by rotating our shoulders side to side. So really think, am I moving through my hip across the bottom part of my leg here? 2 more reps. All right, now we're going to stay in that corner like we did in the first one and spend just about 5 or 6 quick reps here, creating a little bit of space in the hip socket in that part that tends to feel a little bit congested for most of us. Okay, so next up, I'm going to show you what we're going to do first, and then you're going to lay down and join me. So when the time comes, we're going to be either laying on our back or just propped up on the elbows, either or. Sometimes the shoulders can get a little bit fatigued here, so if you need to, you can drop down. But what this looks like, you're going to flex your legs, point your toes to the ceiling, and you're going to take your right leg and bring it out as far to the side of the torso as you can. Now, I've hit a wall. I can't go anymore. And I start to feel some stuff happening on this outside of my butt cheek. I'm going to ensure my toes stay pointed to the ceiling. And with my right leg, I'm going to try to internally rotate my toe. So ideally, my toe would do this. But due to lack of internal rotation, it only goes in a tiny bit. You guys are going to meet me in this position, and we're going to hold this position for an extended period of time, okay? So lean back, flex your legs, toes to the ceiling, right leg goes out as far as you can, so you start to feel some things in the back or in the side of the body, the side of your butt. Nothing but rotating your toes in towards the other, and keep fighting, keep fighting. Try not to actually lift the body up, only have that range of motion come from the hip. Keep fighting. This is constant tension. If your neck gets tired, feel free to drop down to your back so you're still able to keep this right leg fighting to go into internal rotation. Damien's going to have his eyes on you, so if you've got your webcam on you, he can give you some extra tips if he sees anything funky going on. 3, 2, 1, turn it off. So again, we're going to do the same side, toes pointed up to the ceiling. Don't allow that left leg either to get lazy and point out. And same thing, right side, see if you got a little bit more range this time. Bring it out a little farther if you can. And here we go, internally rotate, bringing your right toe pointed to the midline if you can. Holding, 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 rotating, corkscrewing that leg in. This is going to come in handy later when we do our first movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, turn it off. We're going to perform one more rep on this side. And here we go. Back out. See if you can go a little bit higher and internally rotate. Here we go. This is the movement and the motion of the hip that most of us lack, that internal rotation. So we are fighting to get a little bit more activation in there today. 3, 2, 1, and turn it off. All right, we shall switch to the other side. Left leg goes out as far as we can. Toes pointed to the ceiling. Internally rotate that left leg now as hard as you can. As you start to turn it inward, that's the beginning of the rep. You still want to keep fighting for the entire 10 seconds to get as much as you can through that full duration, and turn it off. Back to the start. Back out again as far as you can. See if you can get an extra inch or two. And here we go. Internally rotate, creating tension everywhere else in the body. Imagining that you're having that hip fold inward. Oh, I just got some cracking. Yep, that felt good. 3, 2, 1, turn it off. Feet together. Back out on the left side as wide as you can. And now turn that hip inward. Imagine that you're in the hip socket, rotating the top of that thigh bone, turning inward towards the midline of the torso. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and turn it off. All right, let's get to our standing position. Might feel some funny things now on the outside of your butt cheeks. We're going to get into our deep hip hinge, pushing our butt as far back as we can and pushing our arms as far forward as we can. With our right arm, we're going to perform 5 semicircles. We're going all the way down towards our butt and then all the way back to where we were, never allowing the right arm to drop height. Always keeping it the same height or higher. Okay, here we go. Up, 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 over towards our bum and back. Again, don't rush these. Just 5, that's it. Pressing, 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 pressing as high to the sky as you can, never letting that shoulder drop down. Also pressing through the heels and the toes to wake up the lower leg, that hip hinge pattern. Number 4 here. Number 5 coming up. And then let's keep our right arm there and transition to the left. You might find that it's easier to perform this on one versus the other side. Again, always reaching as high as you can through the shoulder blades. Try not to let the arm drop at all. And then finish up that last rep. Good. We'll join each other back standing. We're going to pivot our left leg onto the floor. We're going to take our right leg. We're going to cross behind the left leg so that we're in this curtsy or crossover position. And again, that internal rotation that we just practiced is going to come into play now. We're going to warm up these lunges, these crossover curtsy lunges, your first movement. We're going to descend down towards the floor, dropping the back knee to the ground, standing back up. Important thing here, we want our right knee to touch down on the outside of our left heel. If we are touching down on the inside, we're just facing a different direction. We're not actually challenging the internal rotation of the hip, okay? Let's perform 10 on one side, switch over, let's perform 10 on the other side, just to get our body used to this particular exercise and this particular range of motion. Keeping the chest relatively upright. You have a little bit of a hinge, but we're never bending through our spine. We're always bending through the knee and we're always bending through the hip. And how far over you actually cross is going to be dependent on your mobility. The greater internal rotation you have, the greater you'll be across the sideline. Less internal rotation, it'll look a little bit more like an inline lunge, okay? So meet your body where it's at. All right, so finish up those practice ones. And then what's gonna happen, we're gonna have 30 seconds where we descend down towards the floor and we're gonna hold this position. And the entire time we're holding it, I want you to imagine that you're kind of like making scissors with your legs. You're pushing one leg in and the other one in to create more tension. Now, 30 seconds is a long time. So if you kind of have to do like a P dance, up and down a little bit and shimmying side to side, that's okay. But we'll try our best to last 30 seconds. Here we go. Left leg forward to start. Right leg backwards. Descend down towards the floor. And here we've got 30 seconds of holding this position. At the end of 30 seconds, we will then be going into repetitions, 10 on this side. We're about halfway there. Try to keep your weight on the front leg if possible. Back leg is along for the ride. 10 seconds remaining. Controlling our body in space. True feat of strength.
3, 2, 1.
All right, 10 repetitions. 1, 2, 3. Bring those legs together. 4. Cross them. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's switch legs. Again, bring that back knee down towards the floor. Imagining that your legs are performing this scissor motion. And here we go.
Go.
30 seconds. Try to keep your weight on that front leg as much as possible and performing that internal rotation of really letting the legs push together through the groin area. Halfway. 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go into 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Next up, we've got our bent over T. So if you've got a light weight, you can hold them in your hands. Soup cans, light anything from home would work. And you're going to hold this position for 30 seconds before going into 10 bent over T's. Okay? So let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. And we're not just hanging out here defying gravity. We're thinking about taking our shoulder blades to the highest point that they possibly have. So by the time those reps come, we're happy to get out of this position. Halfway. 10 seconds. My butt's also on fire from doing this after those curtsies.
3, 2, 1.
And 10 repetitions, squeezing up the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, transition to the ground. Kickstand, hip bridge or hip thrust. You're going to keep your right foot in contact with the floor. The left leg is going to act as a bit of a kickstand so you can get as much out of the right leg as possible. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds of squeezing the heck out of your right butt cheek. Imagine you're trying to drag your heel towards your head as hard as you possibly can. Trying to squeeze your butt and get your hip into that full extension so you feel a stretch on the front part of your quad. We got 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
3,
2, 1, and 10 reps on this right side. 1, squeezing the heck out of the top. 2, still controlling the movement. 3, hold it up there for a moment. 4, 5, 6, 7, follow this tempo. 8, 9, 10. Switch legs. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Loading my left leg as hard as I can. Right one is along for the ride to help me get more out of my left leg. I'm squeezing the heck out of my butt cheek. So it's rock solid. I'm pulling my heel towards my head. And I've got 10 seconds remaining. Controlling our body in space. Defying gravity. 3, 2, 1, and 10 reps. Down, down, down. Squeeze the heck out of that left butt cheek. 1. Squeeze it. 2. Squeeze it. 3. 4. 5. Hold it there. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Okay. Flip over into your push-up position. Feel free to do that on the ground from your toes, from your knees, or elevated against a wall or a piece of furniture. Yes, we are holding that push-up for 30 seconds. It might not be in the exact same spot. You might have to hover in different positions to make it through. That's okay. 3, 2, 1. And let us hold that push-up position. flexing the abs, squeezing your butt cheeks like always, making something that is upper body dominant feel full body.
Mark.
We've got 10 seconds remaining, and then we shall perform 10 reps of push-up.
3,
2, 1, and here we go, 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, grab a quick sip, and then we're back to the top of the order at the crossover lunge. Everyone doing okay so far? Thumbs up, yeah. If things are awful, go thumbs down. We'll check in with you. Yeah. Okay, let's get into that crossover position, starting with our right leg first this time. Right leg in the front, left leg in the back. Descend into that crossover or curtsy lunge position. And here we go, 30 seconds. Keeping that weight and tension on the front part of the body, the front heel. Trying to keep the left knee on the outside of the right heel, right ankle. 6 seconds remaining. 3, 2, 1, and 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch our legs. Left leg forward. Descend. 3, 2, and 1.
Go.
30 seconds on the clock. Keep the chest a little bit more upright. Good. Second leg always pains a little more than the first one does. We got 10 seconds remaining here. Fight for that stability. Pre-fatiguing our leg for those 10 reps.
3, 2, 1.
And
Go.
10 reps, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Transition to your bent over row position. Arms out, either body weight or with a light weight in each hand. T position. 3, 2, and 1. Lifting those elbows as high as you can to get as much range of motion from those postural back muscles as we can. Squeezing the heck out of those shoulder blades. Try to keep the wrist in line with the elbow and the elbow in line with the shoulder. So some of you need to bring your hands a little bit closer to your head.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, 10 reps. Here we go. 1, 2, squeeze at the top. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Onto the floor. Kickstand hip thrust. Keeping our left leg working first. Right leg is the kickstand. 3, 2, 1, and elevate.
Go.
All of our weight is on that left glute, that left hamstring, that left foot. Our right leg is just hanging out for some extra stability or support. Creating
Mark.
as much of a squeeze in that left butt cheek as you can. Squeezing it harder than you need to. We've got 8 seconds remaining. 5.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go. 10 reps on the left. 1, holding at the top for a second. 2, we're not rushing these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold it for 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, good. Switch sides. Right leg pivoting. Left leg is kickstand. And here we go. Elevate.
Go.
30 seconds. Again, as always, getting as much out of this hold as we can. Bring as much effort and focus to the working muscles as possible, because that's going to maximize the results that we get. We've got 10 seconds remaining. Then we're going to go into those purposeful 10 reps. 3,
2, 1. Go.
okay, here we go. 1, squeeze. 2, squeeze. 3, squeeze. 4, hang out there, squeeze it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Keep squeezing and turn it off. Flip over to your push-up position. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. 30 seconds of constant tension in that push-up position. You need to move a little higher, a little lower to maintain 30 seconds of work. Do so halfway. Last 10 seconds. Fight for it. Try not to rest in between the hold and the actual reps.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go, 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, grab another sip. We got one more round to go. We're a little bit more accustomed to the movements now, so I'm going to spend a little bit more time this round with my eyes on each of you, just making sure that we're maximizing that movement as best as possible. All right. Right leg forward for the crossover. 3, 2, 1, and descend. Here we go.
Go.
30 seconds. Trying to ensure that that knee is crossing the midline. So we're creating almost like scissors with our legs, with our hip area, forcing that internal rotation. The position that we generally don't go into very much.
3, 2, 1.
And 10 reps. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. Switch sides. Getting ready in 3, 2, 1, and descend. Here we go.
Go.
It's definitely important to strengthen the hip in different directions, not just up and down. We also spend a lot of time always opening our feet and keeping our feet in external rotation. We spend a lot less time in internal rotation. These are very good for us. That's also probably why they feel really crappy. 6 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go for reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no rush, 6, 7, 8, 9, squeeze your thighs together, and 10. Okay, bent over position, that nice deadlift position, pressing your hips as far back to the edge of the room as possible. And here we go, 30 seconds on the clock, squeezing the heck out of our upper back muscles, our shoulder blades, leading through the elbows, leading through the shoulder blades. Ruma, bring your hands a little bit closer to your head. Yeah, good. 10 seconds remaining. Fight for that end range. Don't let them drop.
3, 2, 1.
And 10 reps. Here we go. Squeezing at the top for 1, 2, 3. Keep your chest low. 4. Monisha a little lower. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. On your back on the floor, kickstand hip bridge. Left leg is going to work first. Right leg is kickstand. 3, 2, 1, and here we go.
Go.
Putting as much work into that working leg as possible and using the kickstand leg just to eat up the amount it needs to ensure that you can maximize what you're getting from that working side. Halfway. Biasing the strength and the stability on one side of the hip here. 5 seconds remaining.
3, 2, 1.
And 10 reps. Here we go. 1, and hold at that top for a second. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spend more time at the top than the bottom. 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch sides. 3, 2, 1.
Go.
And here we go. Holding that top position, squeezing the heck out of your butt. Bring into as much as you possibly can. We don't want this to be a cardio effect. We want this to be a strength and stability effect. We got 6 seconds on the clock.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go. Repetitions for 1. Keep your hip up until I say the other number, and then just let your butt tap the ground and come back up. 2, 3. So you're staying up the whole time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Transition to your push-up position. Okay, getting ready to start our hold in 3, 2, 1, and go ahead. Trying to keep tension on the shoulders, the chest, the arms for that full 30 seconds. And again, if you got to move slightly throughout that 30 seconds to find different positions that feel better to ensure that you can keep tension for that full time, do so. 10 seconds, but still do try and challenge yourself here. Christine, that's a kick butt position. 3, 2, 1, and 10 reps. That's it. Good. Naruba, bring your chest right to the floor. Yeah. Nice work, Deb. Amanda, Tushi, good. Lisa, very good. Ruma, I can see you part of your shoulder. Ashley, nice. That's it, Heather, fight for those reps. Once you're done your 10 repetitions, grab a quick sip, and we're going to be transitioning next into our bicep, tricep, or arm finisher. So for your bicep, tricep finisher, you'll need some form of weight. It doesn't have to be anything crazy because these movements target pretty small muscle groups. So something relatively light could feel pretty heavy. Most things in the kitchen would work here. Containers of like juice or milk, very good options. We're going to be performing a bicep curl. So you can use either two implements, meaning I'm going to hold something in my right, hold something in my left, or I can just have something that's joined. Either or, neither is right nor wrong. And we're going to be performing 25 bicep curls. Now, a couple of things with the bicep curl. We're going to make this a strict bicep curl, meaning that we won't be using the rest of the body as momentum, okay? So we're only bending through the elbow and we're squeezing at the top as hard as we possibly can so that if our weight is relatively light, we're going to make it feel heavy. We're going to perform 25 bicep curls, and then we're going to transition to a tricep movement. The tricep movement I'm going to explain now in case you're a little bit quicker. Take your object, it could be the same thing, press it overhead. Now from this position, even though it's the arms doing work, we got to make sure we protect the lower back. So I want you to imagine that you came to the top of your hip thrust or your deadlift. So squeeze the heck out of your butt cheeks to protect your lower back. Squeeze your arms next to your head or your ears, and then just bend the elbow to bring your load down to the back as far as you can, and then back up. That would be one rep. So we want to try to keep those elbows as tight as we can. As we get tired, they flare. Bring them in nice and tight, and you'll be able to make 5 pounds feel very heavy by doing so. It's going to be 25 bicep curls, 25 tricep extensions, 4 times, so a total of 100 reps. Okay, ready to rock and roll? 3, 2, 1, and here we go. 25 of those bicep curls, focusing on squeezing the muscles at the top, squeezing the heck out of those muscles, getting as much out of them as you possibly can. Control with a lot of intent in that top position. Trying to use the full range of motion. So Manisha, if you're able to, try to bend the elbows so you come all the way down so they're fully extended, and then all the way back up. So training the muscle through the full range that it has. For those who have some pretty good awareness with their body, you can even think when your arm gets extended, you can flex your tricep or the back of your arm before going into the next rep of your bicep curl. And that would actually get a little bit more out of it. If that sounded like gibberish, another language, disregard. That's it. Squeezing as much as you can. Squeezing as much as you can. And again, after you've completed those 25 reps, then transitioning to that overhead tricep extension. Bicep and tricep work is definitely important for health of the arm and all the joints involved, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder. Helps to stabilize basically our limbs so we're able to do fun things all the time, like move groceries and clean everything with Lysol. So again, fight to keep those elbows tight to your head on the tricep extension. We want to try to avoid as much as possible having the elbows flare. So try to keep them like this, squeezing the side of your head. And the farther down you go, we're a little bit weaker in that bottom position, that end range. So you might find that it's harder to get up from this back position, but just try your best. So 25, 25, and that's set 1. And then we do that 3 more times. Yay! So hopefully, if you're using something that is a little bit lighter for you, by the end of these 4 sets, you'll still feel that they've been a little heavy. I'm looking at Monisha right now.
Heather's doing a fantastic job with the tricep extensions.
Nice work, Heather. Ruma, really good keeping those elbows in. That looks awesome.
Amanda and Tushi are doing well with the curls. Ruma as well, very nice. Alita, solid.
Yeah, very good.
The beat.
Nice, D. D and family. And like always here, just trying to feel every repetition. We're making light feel heavy because of the intent that we're bringing to it. Strengthening our joints still, making our tendons and our ligaments react to the imposed demand and also become more stable, and also to be able to withstand different types of external influences that are put on them in the daily life. Good. Karina, see if you can squeeze those elbows in a little tighter. Yeah. Oh, that might be kind of heavy. Is that why? Yeah. That was like a 10-pound bag of rice. Yeah, very good. Excellent fix, Karina. Very nice job.
I think that's like 20 pounds.
Yeah, that looks intense. Good, Nicole. Lisa, nice job keeping those elbows tight to the ears. As our body gets tired with the tricep extensions, we definitely like to flare the elbows because we're stronger in that wider position. So really good time to work on our weaknesses through our at-home protocols. So 4 sets total of 25 per exercise. Some of these movements may come back to haunt you tomorrow in some of the prescribed exercises that we'll see pop up tomorrow. This is just the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Deep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we think it's amazing when you get the whole family involved.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's so cool.
Nice, Deb. Nice, Tushi. Good, Amanda. Good, Ruma.
Deb, you might find it a bit harder keeping the elbows tight with the single dumbbell. What you can do is you can hold it the same way you're holding it now. Instead of, yeah, you can hold the other way. Yeah, yeah. That might be a little easier to keep the elbows tighter.
And by the end of the 25s, we should feel fatigue. If we're not feeling fatigued by 25, couple things. 1, go look around your house and find something heavier. 2, think about squeezing and flexing as hard as you can at the top. I don't know if anybody did this when they were kids. Maybe I'm just the weird one. But you know when you like take your arm out, your bicep out, and you flex it as hard as you can? That's work. That's actually helping you to build muscle and break down tissue to recover. So you bring that same respect to what you're doing now, flexing harder than you need to, and you can make something that's relatively light feel very heavy.
So funny story about that. A lot of competitive bodybuilders, like pro level bodybuilders, what they'll do is the day that they're on stage competing, they'll actually lift like bands or no weight at all in the back room to get a crazy burn and a crazy pump. So you don't necessarily need a lot of weight to stimulate the muscles that way. Like Carisha's saying, you just have to flex with all of your might, and you can get an incredible contraction and then the ensuing metabolic effect.
So the next time that you're putting groceries away or kids to bed or putting dishes away, flex everything that you got as you put that plate up ahead, and then think of us. The kids are gonna be like, why are you moving so weirdly? You move like a robot as you put everything away. What are we, 2 or 3 deep now? 3. Okay, cool. Awesome. 3. Very good. We've had no puppy appearances today. Ashley, Nicole.
Ruma, great work. That looks really good. Monisha, that looks very good as well. You could probably benefit from drawing the rib cage down a little bit so you're not leaning back as much. Yeah.
Good. So again, always thinking about you're at the top of that deadlift, right? So you're squeezing your butt cheeks, ugly butt, even when you're doing your bicep curl and that overhead press. And so even though it's a very small muscle that's contracting, you're getting a lot out of the rest of your body. There's no reason why we got to only think about the biceps and a bicep curl, and why we can't think about flexing the legs and the glutes, and the abdominals as well during each of those reps to maximize what our body is feeling from that exercise. Good, Amanda. Said Heather. Said Lisa, and just squeeze those biceps at the top. I think Monisha feels her arms working. I'm waiting for the day you come out lifting a beer can. So the next time you do household chores, I want you to think about that. Flexing those muscles as hard as you can while you do household chores that don't need you to actually flex. And then give me a heads up once you finish your 4 sets, and we will go through a stretch. Deb, all done? All right. D, all done? All right, nice work. Yeah. Okay, looks like most of us have wrapped up. If you're still working, keep working. We're gonna start our stretches in about 30 seconds. No rush though, finish your reps. You can jump in when you're done. Okay, so we're gonna start from a standing position, and we're gonna take our right leg and we are gonna cross it behind the left leg. Trying to keep our feet nice and tight. We're now gonna press our hips out to the right and we're going to lift our arms out to the left. And through here, you can slightly move around. Try not to lean far back. That might irritate the lower back. You can lean to see what lengthens that side of the body even more for you. Everyone's a little bit different. As always, big fan of squeezing your butt cheeks while you do these stretches because it gives something hard to pull against. My butt is really tight. I'm not moving through my back, and then I can start to feel a little bit more of those stretches down the side of my body. And we'll switch sides. So now my left foot is going to cross over the back of my right foot. I'm going to push my hips to the left, and I'm going to lift my arm, especially my left arm, up towards the right. And again, I'm going to explore and see where I feel a tremendous amount of stretch. I get a ton of stretch down the side of my torso and my hip flexor area, especially when I think about squeezing my butt cheek. That intensifies that stretch even more. You can use your right hand to pull the top of your left hand as well to lengthen it even further. So this is us getting into like fascial lines. Fascial lines are fascia's connective tissue that holds your muscles together. They encase your muscles, and they also get very tight and very restricted. So we're helping to create some movement through those. Okay, we'll come back to our standing position, and we'll transition down onto the floor, onto our butt. And I'm going to have you place your feet together, hands behind your back, creating a butterfly position. And I want you to imagine that you're pulling your knees towards the floor. So you're going to actively pull the legs down to the ground as opposed to us pushing them down with our hands. Pull them down as hard as you can. We're going to hold these for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it relax. And one more. Pull your knees towards the floor through those hips. Chest is upright. Hands are behind the back. 3, 2, 1. Now we can move our hands towards our toes, and we can lean forward slightly if we need to. Our back likely won't stay very straight here. And now we can use our arms or our elbows to actually push our knees and our thighs down towards the floor. Exhaling, trying to let go of the tension in that groin area. Big inhale and exhale. Last one, big inhale and exhale. We're going to extend the legs out in front of us. We're going to take our left leg and we're going to cross it over the thigh of the right leg. And we're going to have our left foot in contact with the ground. So very similar to that crossover lunge that we did today, where we're trying to pull the hips together. We're going to take our right hand and place it on the outside part of the left knee or the left thigh. And we're going to think about pushing that left thigh into the right arm. So you're creating a little bit of tension there, pushing the thigh into the arm and turn it off. And then now we can use that arm to pull over our body a little bit more. Press the knee into the arm again and let go and pull over. And switch sides. Right foot goes over left leg, and left arm and shoulder goes behind right thigh. Think about that for a second. Like, what is my left? What is my right? Push the thigh into the arm and the arm into the thigh to turn things on, and then turn it off and deepen that stretch. Push the thigh into the arm to turn it on, turn it off, and deepen that stretch. So trying to keep your toes pointed internally, especially with that extended leg, to deepen the stretch. Okay, lay on your back. We're going to perform a similar movement. So again, that front leg is going to cross over our other leg. We're going to take our diagonal arm to knee and pull that knee down towards our chest or our torso. Depending on where you feel the stretch, you can put the weight or the pressure there, whether it be the knee, the thigh, the calf or the foot, whatever kind of works for you. And switch sides. Damien just self-destructed and fell.
And you're welcome. Don't worry, the replay will be posted on Facebook group later. Who wants to watch that one?
All right. Extend the toes as far away from the body as you can. Extend the arms as far away from the body as you can. And think that you have a string from your belly button, and your belly button is being pulled towards the ceiling. Pull your belly button towards the ceiling. Pull your rib cage towards the ceiling. Feel stretch, feel length through that anterior part of your body, and turn it off. And turn it back on again. Pull your belly button, pull your rib cage to the ceiling. Big inhale, fill your belly while it's stretching. And exhale, and turn it off. Hug your knees towards your chest. And just gently rock back side to side. Small little wiggles. And slowly come back up to your standing when you feel ready. Thank you everybody for joining us again today. Tomorrow we have an upper body blitz. Now don't let that fool you. It'll be 4 movements for the upper body, but 2 movements for the lower body. So still that full body stimulus. But yes, we're gonna get a little bit extra love for the upper body. And then Thursday will be our core themed session. So a couple of things to look forward to. Stay well today. Wash your hands. We miss you guys, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And as always, if questions pop up about movements or anything like that, feel free to chime in the Facebook group or shoot us messages. We can help you guys out from a distance. Take care, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Answer some questions here. We're still here. Hang on. I was trying to. You can here. Let's unmute you. All right.
There you
Sorry,
go.
I fell over and crushed the tripod, and I'm laying in a pile of wires and laptops and iPod or cameras. Give me a quick second here.
Okay.
Just fix this and I'll answer your question. So you had questions about why is this not working? There you go.
That gonna be okay?
The push-up.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Set this up so you can
Okay.
see. There we go.
I have here, I'll let you finish.
That's okay. I can see yeah, we're in business.
Okay, great. Listen, I have a wrist injury. I broke not my wrist, but my arm years ago. And I can't really do this. What I'm doing right now, can you see, is
Yeah, you're on your
my
fifth.
push up. But I don't know if that's good. I don't know if I should do this. Is there some device I could use or buy to do a push up? I'd like to try, but I just can't. It hurts it just really hurts. I'm very weak as well, but it's just really hurts.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I gotta move somewhere where I can show you a couple of things. Let me just disconnect my
Thanks.
devices here. Okay. All right. So yeah, that really does suck. Wrist injuries are awful. I'm gonna get a piece of
Okay.
what the hell around here that I can. So if you've got like a 2x4 or something, that this particular one is a bit thinner. You can use a 2x4 or a book or something.
Okay.
See if putting the heel of your hand on there with your fingers down works. You could try changing the position. If that still isn't comfortable and you need to get into a little more wrist flexion, which would be what you were showing me, the dumbbell works well. The only thing you want to watch out for is if your dumbbell rolls. If your dumbbell rolls, you're in trouble.
Okay.
So maybe put a piece of wood or something in front of it, or get something.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can do that. Yeah. It's
that might work. Those
okay.
look like they're like hexagonal weights, so
Yeah.
that might be better than round weights for sure.
Okay. Okay.
And if I'll chime my 2 cents in here too. So if you're able to, if I don't know what kind of like furniture you got near you, if you got like a chair, a bench, a coffee table.
Or a log.
But for example, if I hold the outside, I can actually keep my wrist in a relatively neutral position.
Okay.
Your bench would
The
work.
bench would actually be pretty awesome for that.
Okay.
It would go in a bit of a narrower position, but that's okay. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And so now you're a little bit more of a stacked position as opposed to pushing all of that load onto the edge of that wrist there.
Okay.
Does that feel better?
It does. Just should I like what angle should my hands be at? Like should I be like this?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the angle, you almost want to try, and it kind of comes out a little bit dangerous, but you almost want to try to get the hand to be as neutral on the outside as possible, which means that, I don't know if you guys see this position here. So
Yeah.
instead of having my hand totally on the side of my bench, I would actually have it towards the side, only gripping on maybe an inch or so. Whatever I need to ensure that I'm not going to actually fall and whack myself like what Damien just did.
Okay.
I just fell over. I wasn't even working out. I just toppled over.
But I have found that to be very helpful for people that have been dealing with wrist issues, is just trying to keep them in more of a stacked position
Okay.
as opposed to being fully in this extended or this position the entire time.
Okay. And then I just had a question about like my elbows. Are they supposed to go out or be like, are they supposed to be against my body? I don't know if you can see. Or do they go out or what?
Great question. And it really depends.
Okay.
So neither is right nor wrong. It's all about what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
So rule of thumb is the wider that you would go, technically the more weight you could lift, or the easier it would be because you're recruiting larger muscle groups.
Okay.
And then the narrower you go, the less strong you would be because you're using smaller muscle group.
Okay.
But to further complicate things, the more narrow you are, the more stable on the shoulder. The wider you are, the less stable. So it has pros and cons.
Okay.
Neither is right or wrong. It's what you're trying to accomplish.
So the further away this is from the body, the harder it is in the shoulders.
Okay.
As you can imagine, if I'm really far away, these things have to do a lot more than if I was nice and tight and tucked.
Okay.
The other thing is we'll usually specify in the program if we want you to be narrow or wide on purpose.
Okay.
So, for example, I guess that today, I guess I didn't specify that. Narrow push-up. We should have been tight today, and that was my mistake for not calling that out. To keep the elbows in wide, because tomorrow we're going to be in a weird position that looks like this for a push-up.
Okay.
But yeah, so neither again is right or wrong. However, if there is something that feels good because of an injury, then I would encourage you to do what feels good.
I think I need to do a tight one. I also have a little bit of shoulder issues. So I think I'm just gonna do tight and then try to like keep it like this. Is that okay if I do that?
What else furniture-wise you have near you? Is that
I have everything. What do you want? I have everything.
I think what we would do
Yeah.
is get you to a height where you can bring your body down into a full range of motion. So lifting you up off the ground higher so that your full body can go up and down.
So you want something higher than a bench or lower?
Yeah. Unless you're able to get your body down and back up.
I'm very weak. I think it's probably just that. Like I'm weak. I don't
Yeah,
have.
so then let's elevate it, because when we elevate it,
Okay.
we're lessening the load under gravity.
Okay. How about a higher chair? Like this?
Whoa. Yeah, you do have everything, eh?
Yeah. It's a house. I've got like this maybe. Oh, I'm just very weak at this exercise.
Yeah,
Like,
so I think
Super weak here. Weak.
I think what Carisha is saying is, in order to get your strength up to the level where you can do the full push-up,
Yeah.
let's reduce the amount of weight that you're lifting. So
Okay.
how do we reduce your body weight? We have to get you more upright.
Okay.
So a higher, like you could even stand up against a wall
Yeah.
as an example.
Okay.
And
Or
then that would
door.
also allow your wrist to respond to the amount of weight that it actually has the capacity to carry.
Yeah, and you'll use the same grip, the same hand positions,
Yeah.
but the only thing that changes is the angle of your body. This is going to be the hardest, and it's going to get easier and easier and easier and easier. This is the easiest when you're standing up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to show Carisha. I'm going to just
Okay.
unplug this.
Okay.
And I'm going to show.
Hopefully this works.
Yeah, my mic is wrapped around this cable. My mic is really wrapped around this cable. Hang on. Or might open.
I'll be gentle. So go from a side view.
You see that okay?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. I can see that just fine.
So from the toes, I'm going to go on my tippy toes.
Okay.
I'm going to angle my feet so that my weight is being pushed into my arms. And then I'm going to bend through the elbows to bring my chest down towards my wall. And then I'm going to push back up, down towards my wall and push back up. So moving that full body in one unit.
Okay. Okay. I gotta figure what wall I'll use, but I understand the concept of that. Okay.
Yeah, and a good sentiment here is to always ensure that that body moves up and down as one unit. So we try to avoid like what we call like the snaking.
Yeah. Okay.
Up.
Okay.
And so that's a good measure as to whether or not the height is an appropriate height for you.
Okay. 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 Let me think about that. I'll work on that. And thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, and feel free to take a video of what you're doing and send it to us, and we can be like, hey, that